Welcome back. In this lesson, we'll explore new English words from familiar to fatigue. You'll learn what they mean and how to use them naturally in real situations. Familiar, well-known or easily recognized. Familiar face, familiar place. We use familiar to talk about something we recognize, know, or understand. It can describe a person, a place, a sound, or even information. When something seems known or recognizable, this smell is familiar. I think I've tasted this dish before. She has a familiar face. The song sounded familiar to me. That smell is familiar. Look familiar? You say this when you think you've seen something before. Sounds familiar. You can use this when you hear a name or idea that you've heard before. When you don't know or recognize something. I'm not familiar with that name. Use this to say you don't recognize or know about something. When someone knows a lot about something. How are you so familiar with my case? Here, familiar means someone has detailed knowledge or experience with something. Now that we've explored how to use familiar in real conversations, let's continue with more useful F words. Famine. Extreme lack of food in a region. Severe famine, famine relief. The drought caused a severe famine. International aid provided famine relief after the torrential rains caused severe food shortages. Fan, device for moving air or person who likes something. Ceiling fan, football fan. She's a big fan of classical music. He used a fan to cool himself down in the summer heat. Fang, long sharp tooth of an animal. Snake fang, vampire fangs. The snake has a venomous fang. The wolf showed its sharp fangs when it growled. Fantastic, extremely good or wonderful, fantastic idea, fantastic performance. She had a fantastic time at the concert. His artwork is truly fantastic and unique. Fantasy, imagination of things that are not real. Fantasy world, fantasy novel. She loves reading fantasy novels. Winning the lottery was like a fantasy come true. Farm, land used for growing crops or raising animals. Dairy farm, family farm. They own a farm with lots of animals. He worked on the farm during the summer. Fart, gas released from the body through the anus. Loud fart, smelly fart. He tried to hold in a fart during the meeting. Kids often find it funny when someone farts. Farther, at a greater distance, physical, farther away, farther down the road. She moved farther away from the city. We can't go any farther. The road is closed. She ran farther than anyone else in the race. We walked further down the path but didn't see the lake. Remember, farther one physical distance, further what abstract progress or additional info, and can also be distance. She decided to study further to improve her skills. Furthermore, the new policy will reduce costs significantly. Fast, moving or happening quickly. Also, a period of time when someone does not eat food, often for religious or health reasons. Fast car, fast runner, fast track, fast for health, religious fast, intermittent fast. The car was going fast down the highway. She decided to fast for health reasons. He is fasting for Ramadan. He started intermittent fasting and regular training to improve his fitness. Fast asleep, sleeping deeply. Fall fast asleep, be fast asleep. The baby was fast asleep by 8 p.m. I found her fast asleep on the couch. Fat, having a lot of body weight or substance. Fat cat, body fat. He tries to avoid foods high in fat. The doctor advised her to reduce body fat. The expression fat cat is used to describe a rich and powerful person, especially a business or political leader who earns a lot of money and enjoys many privileges. It often has a negative or critical meaning. Many people think fat cats in business earn too much money. Fatten, to make an animal or person fatter. Fatten up, fatten cattle. We use fatten mainly for animals, especially farm animals. For example, farmers fatten cattle before selling them. When talking about people, we usually say gain weight or put on weight, not fatten. The secret behind the fantastic hams from Spain's Sierra of Huelva is that the pigs are raised freely and fattened on acorns. The expression being fattened up for a slaughter is used metaphorically to mean someone is being treated well before something bad happens, like a hidden plan or unpleasant surprise. They've been giving me compliments all week. I feel like I'm being fattened up for a slaughter. Fatty, containing a lot of fat, fatty food, fatty tissue. Avoid eating too much fatty food. Salmon is a fatty fish, but very healthy. We use fatty to describe food that naturally contains a lot of fat, like fatty meat or fatty fish. On the other hand, greasy is used for food that is oily or covered in grease, often after cooking, like greasy fries or a greasy burger. So, fatty refers to what's inside the food, while greasy describes how it feels or looks on the surface. Remember, fatty is about what's inside the food. Greasy is about what's on the outside. Fatal, causing death or very serious result. Fatal accident, fatal error. The accident was fatal for the driver. Eating those wild mushrooms can be fatal. Fate, power that controls what happens in life. Cruel fate, tempt fate. She believes fate brought them together. They left their future to fate and waited to see what would happen. Fathom, to understand deeply or measure depth. Can't fathom, fathom the depth. He couldn't fathom why she would leave. I can't fathom why he did that. She couldn't fathom how they had kept the secret for so long. I can't fathom the depth of that ocean. It's hard to fathom the amount of work behind this project. Fatigue, extreme tiredness or lack of energy. Mental fatigue, fatigue symptoms. He felt extreme fatigue after the long hike. After working long hours for several weeks, he began to notice fatigue symptoms like lack of focus and constant tiredness. Great job! Now you know more F words you can use every day. Don't stop here. Click the link to watch the next video and keep growing your English vocabulary.